Tony Valderrama, head of product for Momento.
I'm Matt Scharr. I'm an engineering manager at AWS Elemental for MediaTailor.
Awesome. Welcome. Delighted to have you for the first day of BuffConf.
Yeah.
So what has been the thing you're most looking forward to coming into this conference?
Well, I've really appreciated the diversity of talks that you guys are presenting. There's quite a few interesting tracks. I liked that there's a focus on scale and like sort of real world applications to some of the technologies that we're building. The AI talks have actually been really, really interesting. That was a nice surprise. It's always difficult. It's such an emerging technology. And so you want to see how it's applied in real life. And there's some really cool applications that folks have presented so far. So that's been a wonderful surprise.
Awesome. Yeah, I know we're only halfway through the first day here, but what's been the most interesting, learning so far?
Oh, I mean, interesting learnings. There's so many fun fun projects that folks are working on. I think that honestly, the keynote from Mayer about the Super Bowl was really, really insightful. Just around like the different experiences that you see across devices and how your interaction with the player will greatly change like the latency outcomes that you see. Even with like control, you still have to deal with like different platforms and different device capabilities, and then there's a pretty big range of outcomes that result from that, which is surprising and interesting to see and acknowledge. It's cool to see the scale and the data that they have.
Your talk today was about server-side ad insertion, and how does SSAI improve the viewer experience?
It simplifies a lot of things for streamers or for platforms. Like client development is hard. Client-side ad insertion is kind of spotty sometimes. It allows for broader device reach. A lot of times, a lot of client-side development is tricky. It requires a lot of investment. And a lot of control over the players, and sometimes that's not possible or just not practical or economical. And additionally, the devices themselves don't always lend themselves to the extra work that needs to be done if you're going to be doing client-side decisioning and client-side reporting and all of that. And server-side ad insertion, server-side reporting allows you to sort of abstract that all the way from the client. You can have simpler clients. And you can hide some of that complexity of implementation at the server. It's also easier to iterate and add new functionality at server side than it is client side. You're just going to pay a pretty big tax to do client side development, and of course there's adoption and all of that is tricky. So it's a good solution for that. And of course there's new evolutions and the protocols and the sort of ways that we achieve ad insertion lately that are pretty exciting for the industry. So
definitely,
it's all changing.
Definitely, yeah. As you look forward, what is the most exciting direction you think that this could go?
I mean, certainly SGAI is a critical topic. I mean, we're significantly changing how content is delivered, making it much more efficient. Previously with SSAI, for all of these personalized streams, you'd still have to redeliver the same content over and over and over again to clients. I'm referring to the playlists. And with SGAI, it gets a lot more efficient. You can do a lot more caching of these assets. You don't have to regenerate the manifests all the time. It makes it cheaper to support, certainly at the server side, and more efficient for CDNs and more efficient for clients. They don't have to make full round trips to the server every time they get an update to the playlist. So it's a really, really powerful improvement. Obviously, the player ecosystem needs to catch up and support these things. And I know that there's still some rough edges. Also, the spec coverage is not there for all devices. We've recently gotten an implementation or a standard defined for Dash devices. Apple's a little ahead of the curve with HLS interstitials, but we're looking to see, hopefully some fairly quick adoption of the new SGAI methodologies across the board soon. And that certainly changes the scaling picture on the back end. It changes the kind of work that we have to do, and it's pretty exciting. It's a good evolution for the industry, much more efficient.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think is the biggest hurdle, though, in the way of reaching that future?
Oh, I mean, definitely device adoption. There's always going to be a long tail of older devices that don't support these newer protocols or newer standards. There's also some scaling issues that I don't know issues, but it's not just the delivery protocol and those technologies that you have to worry about. There's the whole ecosystem of other partners that have to support these, and especially at high scale, that needs to be considered in your technology choices and how you're delivering content and how you're preparing. The intersection of SGAI and prefetching is really interesting because it changes the way that clients and servers interact, and therefore changes how and when planning can happen for things like ad breaks. So that's a really exciting evolution that we're looking forward to. It's going to be a fun technical problem, and yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess beyond server-side ad insertion, are there any trends you foresee in terms of content monetization, streaming technologies, things like that?
Oh, of course. Some of the what everyone's talking about now are alternate ad experiences, in-stream ads and overlays, sort of double boxing, ways that you can create new monetization opportunities without disrupting the stream or disrupting playback. If you have a traditional linear ad, you exit the program, you have a full frame ad, and then you have to come back. It's very perturbing to the viewer experience. And some events or some sports or types of broadcasts don't lend themselves well to that kind of format. And so the big focus lately is really on overlays and these newer formats that still allow for personalization, but without potentially disrupting the viewing experience as much. So there's a lot of publishers that are interested in that, and we are of course facilitating those kinds of experiences with our technology as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for giving a presentation here at BuffConf and coming to be a part of the community. It's a real pleasure to have you, and we really it's a lovely partnership with AWS.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's a great event. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Cheers.